All right, and some breaking news coming in right now. The CPIM and the Congress have both given the suspension of business notice in Rajya Sabha under Rule 267 over the centre's Agnipath scheme and demand a discussion on it. The Rajya Sabha chairperson has rejected several hundred notices under Rule 267 since 2016 on subjects ranging from the Rafale deal to the implementation of the GST. And more recently on Pegasus. So it's not entirely decided that this will be taken up right now. My colleague Pallavi Ghosh is with us to bring us more context on what this development actually means and how it could play out through the rest of the day. Pallavi, over to you.
Yes, so the notice has been given both by the Congress and the left parties, and in fact at the all-party meeting yesterday, which these opposition parties had with the Speaker, they had also raised this issue that the Agnipath scheme was passed when the Parliament was not in session, so it was not discussed. The opposition was not taken on board before implementing this scheme, which has completely been squashed by the government because the Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has gone on record to say earlier that, there were enough indications given by the government that they were going to change or come up with a new scheme to address the issues of, no recruitment taking place as far as the army or the armed forces is concerned. But the opposition still thinks that this is a changing scheme, it's a life-changing scheme, and therefore how can you not discuss it on the floor of the House? So we'll have to wait to see whether the Speaker and the chairperson in this case actually agree to a full-fledged discussion on this.
Pallavi, this is one of the things, as you've pointed out, that we knew the opposition was going to talk about. We also know that this is perhaps then something that the opposition has strategized for. Could you tell our audiences what that strategy might look like?
Well, see, the only problem over here is that after the first 2 days of protests over the Agnipath scheme, we haven't seen those street protests. That's going to be one point which is going to be raised by the government. And the second thing is almost a landmark recruitment or registrations under the Agnipath scheme. There has been a large number of people who have applied on this. So the government will always in its defense say that, look, people do want it. I don't think there's going to be a rollback of this scheme. Definitely not, because they've gone far ahead. What can at most happen is some kind of a statement issued by the defense minister on the floor of the House to explain that the scheme is actually going to work out for the benefit of the many people who are going to be recruited under it. Is also going to address the job problem, not just in the armed forces, but generally in a post-COVID India.
Pallavi Ghosh, our editor, thank you so much for bringing us that context on the story. For our audiences, that is all that we have here for you on the morning news. Next.